والله يدعو إلى دار السلام ويهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله الأمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It took us a while to talk about the night journey of the Prophet ﷺ to Jerusalem, and from there to the seventh heavens of Allah Azza wa Jal. Once this miraculous night journey ended, the Prophet ﷺ went back to Mecca, and it was still night time. So it only took 2 or 3 hours, but he had seen what would probably be enough for a lifetime. He came back feeling the comfort and the faith in him that reached its optimum. He felt satisfied of getting the revelations of Allah Azza wa Jal. He felt insured after meeting the messengers and prophets of Allah and being greeted by them and welcomed as a brother and as a son. He came back alayhi salatu wassalam, and he told his people, told his followers, and told everyone that was around him that he had made this night journey and that it took place in these few hours. The whole of Mecca heard about this, and the pagans almost fell to their backs with laughter of this incredible but unbelievable story that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is telling them. Some of the Muslims that had weak belief and iman soon rejected Islam and died as non-Muslims, because they could not comprehend and understand, because they did not have any faith and belief. Other Muslims believed it, but still they were not that sure of it, because it was so incredible and unbelievable. Except Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him. The minute that someone came to him and told him that, haven't you heard what your friend says? Haven't you heard what your companions say? So he told them, what was it? The man told him that he claims that he has been resurrected to the heavens and came back, passing by Jerusalem in one night, in less than even one night. Immediately, Abu Bakr's response was, that's true, I believe him. And they were astonished. How do you believe such a thing? He told them, come on, this is logical. If I believe that news and instructions from heavens, from Allah Azza wa Jal, come to him immediately in a matter of seconds, don't you want me to believe that he went to Jerusalem and to the heavens in one night and came back? Definitely I believe him. And from then, he was known to be Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, which means the one that believes. The pagans wanted to make the best of this, because first, they knew that the Prophet ﷺ had never traveled to Jerusalem in his life. So, among them were merchants who've been to Jerusalem for a number of times. And of course, one of the greatest structures in Jerusalem is the mosque, the holy mosque of Al-Aqsa. So, they wanted to test the Prophet ﷺ. They told him, we're going to ask you questions. So answer them if you had been to Jerusalem as you claim. And the Prophet ﷺ felt a little bit worried because he had seen the place, but he did not go around it and sightseeing. Many places that we go to, when asked to describe it, it's difficult, it's hard. But to his comfort, Allah Azza wa Jal told him not to worry. And He revealed the Holy Mosque of Al-Aqsa to our Prophet ﷺ, as if it's in front of him. So they started asking him about little details that only people living there know. And the Prophet ﷺ was looking at it in front of him. And he's describing every single thing, the doors, the windows, the mattresses, everything.
The number of windows.
The
number of windows.
The number of windows, the number of doors, every single thing that no one would take notice of. Even if he went there 10 or 15 or 20 times, the Prophet ﷺ saw it in front of him. Would that be enough to convince the pagans? No, it wasn't. They still insisted on not believing him. So the Prophet ﷺ gave them another example of his truth by saying, on my way back, we saw a caravan being led by so and so, and he named the leader of that caravan, coming from Sham, coming from the north of Arabia. And while coming back, they lost one of their camels, and they were trying to locate that camel and bring him back, and they did. And the first camel on this caravan, his colors are so and so, and he looks so and so. So he gave them a detailed description of that caravan. Not only that, the caravan left Mecca about 40 nights ago, and it takes about 1 month to go and another one to return. So the Prophet estimated ﷺ where he saw them, and he told them that they will arrive to Mecca on that particular night, the night of so and so. And the pagans anticipated that the given date, and exactly on the same night that the Prophet ﷺ told them, the caravan entered Mecca with the camel that was described to them by the Prophet ﷺ leading that caravan. So they had no other choice but to believe in the story that the Prophet ﷺ told them. Yet they still insisted with their arrogance not to accept what the Prophet ﷺ had said. Going back to our story, to the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, this night journey has increased his faith more than it was, though it wasn't the optimum, but it gave them a vote of confidence that he was on the right track. The Prophet ﷺ, though was under the protection of Mut'im ibn Adi, and still wanted to look for a city, a village, a place where he would be able to migrate to and find a peace of mind and find the freedom to call to Allah Azza wa Jal without anybody interrupting him. He kept on presenting his religion to the people in the pilgrims or in the pilgrimage season. And also the Arabs had what they call markets or bazaars. They used to join and gather there for the case of poetry, buying and selling. They had this market of Ukadh, or souk of Ukadh, souk of that Majaz and Majinna and so on. These souks were attended by lots of the tribes of Arabia, and the Prophet ﷺ used to go to them and present his case, hoping that someone would become a Muslim and give him protection. On and on he used to go, alayhi salatu wassalam, until it was the 11th year from the first revelation given to our Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. On the pilgrim's occasion, on that occasion of pilgrimage, the season of pilgrimage, came men from the tribe of Al-Khazraj. And these men were 6. But they came from Medina, which was then called Yathrib. It was a 500-kilometer city away from Mecca. It was a village, but it was a city known for farming and known of the bravery of its men. Unfortunately, not a while ago, the 2 main tribes of Yathrib had a clash, had a very big and serious war of Bu'ath. And the Aus and the Khazraj fought together for a very long time.
40 years, maybe 40 years.
A lot of the people died.
Yeah.
The Aus had the prevailing hand, and the majority of dead were from both sides, but from the Khazraj at most. And in the same city or village, there was a number of Jews that came ages and ages ago. The Khazraj, going for pilgrimage, they were talking when the Prophet ﷺ heard them. So he sought the permission to speak and present his case. So they accepted him. And the minute the Prophet ﷺ spoke, they knew that he was saying the right thing, that he was a messenger and a prophet of Allah. How did they know that? The Jews, whenever they had any clash with the Arabs, they used to threaten them and tell them, soon a messenger of Allah will come and we will fight you under his flag and we will annihilate you. We will execute each and every one of you. And they kept on repeating this, until the Arabs knew that there will be a messenger coming, and the Jews will fight with him, will fight the Arabs under his flag. So the minute these 6 men heard the message of the Prophet ﷺ, and they heard the verses of the Quran, they knew that this man is telling the truth and that he is a messenger of Allah. We do have a short break, so please stay tuned, and inshallah we will be right back.
If you're 18 or if you're 80, if you've been Muslim for 50 years or 5 minutes, this is a show for you. You know, when 5 times a day our foreheads touch the ground in prayer, we beg for what's most important in our lives. We want to be good people, better Muslims. We want to serve Allah Almighty with all our hearts. In this show, Let's Talk, every week we're going to talk about Islam and life, how to relate with other people and how to serve Allah. We'll have studio guests, we'll have a live studio audience, there'll be an email for you to